This is the only track car in its class. It weighs just over 900 pounds, producing 145 horsepower from its long-lasting Suzuki GSXS 1000 engine. 0 to 60, only 3.3 seconds. It's capable of 154 miles an hour. The car is quick through the corners as well, producing 400 pounds of downforce thanks to its rear spoiler and diffuser. These specs are comparable to a Ferrari or a Porsche, which cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. The car in question? Costs just $29,000. This is the Rush SR1. The first track-ready race car of its kind. Race cars under $30,000 are few and far between, but the Rush SR1 ushers in a new era for affordable race cars. Hi, I'm Anthony Lazzaro. Welcome to Atlanta Motorsports Park, where today we're going to test the Rush SR1 prototype. After reviewing the specs, it's a high horsepower, lightweight race car. When you look at the car from the outside, it's a proper prototype. Center seating position, looks like it has real downforce. I'm excited to see what the new Rush SR1 will do on the track. The first thing you notice when you get in the car is the seat and the seating position. You know, the ergonomics, the way the steering wheel, the seat, and the pedals are all positioned. Not all cars are accurate. You know, you can get into a car and it just doesn't fit properly. Okay, yeah, the seat's adjustable, the pedals are adjustable, but this car fits perfect. As soon as I got out on track, I mean, the car has a nice tight feel to it. The roll couple, the way the front and rear work together. The engine starts easily. The drivability of the engine just leaving the pits is fantastic. It's easy. The clutch effort's really light. One thing that I noticed right away was the throttle pedal and the tension on the throttle cable is too easy. So this being a prototype, you know, these are some of the things that I'm going to point out to them to change on the production car. Warming the brakes, I didn't feel a lot of stopping power. It felt like it had an endurance brake pad in it. They didn't have a lot of bite. The brakes themselves, it's got the same calipers and rotors all around the car. The suspension, same A-arms all the way around the car. What that means is it's nice and inexpensive to run. The brakes are extremely powerful as far as the rotor and caliper combination, but the pads themselves, as it turns out, they were an endurance type pad. So for me personally, it's a personal preference, and it's something that's meant to be changed after you buy the car, depending on what the driver wants. So for me personally, I like a little bit more aggressive brake pad. But certainly the pedal effort was good. You know, once I got going, I mean, the engine, when you go to the throttle, you know, it's got a 1000cc Suzuki GSXS engine, and man, it revs, it makes the right noises. I've done a lot of Formula Atlantic racing in the past, and they're high revving 4-cylinders, and this is a high revving 4-cylinder. You feel the power band. At 1000 cc's, it's not a torquey engine, but it makes a lot of horsepower. It likes RPM, so you know, it revs up to 11,000 RPM, and you know, at around 8,000 RPMs when it really starts pulling. It's easy to cruise around at 6,000 or 7,000 and just warm everything up. But once you get on it and go, it ticks all the right boxes. You know, it really does have a good power band, and it's exciting. I mean, this little race car, because it is little, you know, less than 1,000 pounds, and when you look at how the size of the car, man, it sounds and feels like a real race car, because it is a real race car. The steering wheel is quite large on the prototype. It's something that's going to be changed, obviously, for the production model. The paddles right now are too close to the wheel. Another change that'll happen on the production model as well. The shifting had, you know, some teething issues right now, but We understand what that is, and I know that on the production models that's not going to be an issue whatsoever. But the engine and the way it pulls, you know, once you get up to 9,000 RPM, man, the thing just really comes alive. In today's environment, the cars that are out there running, you don't get a high revving four-cylinder anymore. You know, everything's like a spec series, and this thing really screams. The general balance of the car, once I got the tires warmed up, I got the brakes warmed up. As I came down the front straightaway into turn 1 at Atlanta Motorsports Park, the top of 6th gear, the car screams. The turn-in and the balance in turn 1 was good. The change of direction through 2 and 3, excellent. The car picked up a fair amount of understeer all the way through turn 4, which is a very long carousel type corner. The car in general, when you look at the fun factor, it's extremely high. It's a very cool car to drive. It's a very fun car to drive. It's a very fast car, and that's what impressed me the most. You got to put everything into perspective. I mean, this car is around $30,000, and when you look at the lap times that it does with the prototype, this isn't even the production car, it's impressive. I mean, it literally is a very fast little car. And you know, like we said before, it will take you from the kart track to the racetrack. And I think this thing is going to be extremely successful. I really do. I mean, I think it's going to fill a void of price for performance. What I call the fun meter was pegged the whole time around Atlanta Motorsports Park. Having spent the day at Atlanta Motorsports Park in the Rush SR1, bang for the buck, this car kills it. This is the kind of car that's going to get people to the track and get them racing. For $30,000, this car really performs well. Power to weight ratio, it's one of the best there is. Performance, lap times, it's faster than cars that are, shoot, 5-6 times the price. GT cars like the GT4 cars outperforms them. The Rush SR1 is the most performance for the money.